you know what? I just came out of GameStop. I gotta call Sean. This 100th episode thing is coming up, and it's driving me crazy because I'm tired of tweeting at this guy, and he's not responding. It's just ridiculous. So let me call Sean real quick. Okay, it's ringing. Come on, pick up, Sean.
Bobby. Oh, hi, it's me, Sean Capri.
Sean!
I always answer the phone like this.
This is it's amazing, right? So listen.
Hey, man.
I just came out of GameStop, just did some shopping. I'm sitting in my car, and I was like, I got to call Sean because, you know I've been out of the game for a little bit, and I know that people are forgetting about me and all that, and it's bruising my ego. So you're coming up on the 100th episode of If We Ran Nintendo, the show that typical Canadian, hit you with the backhanded compliments.
Yep.
But anyway, listen, I've been tweeting. I've been doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
I sent the one. I asked for 50 retweets, or I asked for 30 retweets. Something like 50-something retweets now.
Yeah.
The people want me there. You got to bring me back. The show is not the same without me. You know this.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. That's an interesting way to go about it, Bobby. But, I appreciate you reaching out to me, and even though you just sort of like cut me down a little bit, it's not as good as it was.
Well, you cut me down first. So
fair enough. But this is awkward, man, because, like, I'm totally booked up. I didn't even think about episode 100. I already booked it with people. I'm sorry, man. I didn't think you'd be interested. I thought you were.
They're not as important as me.
Well, I know that, but what can I do? My hands are tied here, Bobby. What would you have me do?
I would have
if you ran If We Ran Nintendo. What would you do?
If We Ran Nintendo, I would tell them to beat feet and get lost, you're going to bring me on. Yes, you're bringing me in, and I'm going to run the show.
Okay. Just
like it's always the way it was, because I sit there and I listen to the episodes. And your cadence and all that, it's not me.
Okay, well, okay. So you're coming back. So
like when you're saying like we're gonna kick this, you don't say we're gonna kick this episode off like we do each and every episode. You're like we're gonna start this off like every week or something like that. And I'm like I cringe every time I hear it because you're like that close.
All right, you're ruining the bit, Bobby. We don't have to slam the show the way it is. What do we say? What do we say? April 29th.
April 29th, live, noon Eastern Standard Time.
Let's do it.
Which would allow us to get our European friends involved, and it's a normal time. It's not this 10 o'clock at night nonsense.
Yeah, you just keep shitting all over it, hey, Bob?
It's what you love.
You know what? I'm glad you called. April 29th, noon Eastern Standard Time. YouTube.com/WeTheNerdy. Maybe on I don't know. We'll figure that out. For now, YouTube.com/WeTheNerdy. I'm glad we chatted. Glad you called me after your GameStop little visit.
Yes. You see how that works? So thank you. Everybody needs to tune in. It's going to be a
Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. Welcome to episode 90-something of If We Ran Nintendo. This is the part of the show that we thank all of our amazing people at patreon.com/makeusbetter. Thank you guys so much, especially our platinum executive producers like Mr. Corey Hicks at twitch.tv/Twix_18 and Mr. Mark Moody himself at youtube.com/Mr. Moody Reviews. Our gold executive producer, Sheldon Benedict, and all of our gentlemen executive producers. I love how all the other shows on Make Us Better started calling them gentlemen executive producers. That was a joke that I started that like now you guys are all calling them gentlemen. It's amazing. Not for real, but now you're gentlemen. Dude427, Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Nick Milicia from Next Level Games, and all of our other producers. Thank you guys so much. Now let's get on with the show. More Bobby coming at you.
Okay, so the premise is If We Ran Nintendo. And part of me feels like that's the name.
Let's face it, as Nintendo fans, we are often left slightly disappointed and scratching our heads asking why. Where is our cloud saves? Why isn't Metroid out yet? Well, sit back as me, Sean Capri, and a couple of guests do just that. That's right, this is If We Ran Nintendo. Now, cue the music, future me. Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri, and I think this is episode 99 or 98? I don't even know. If you're at Nintendo, it publishes on iTunes and Google Play every Wednesday, but we're live on Monday at youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. Thank you guys for subscribing, everybody in the chat, giving a thumbs up. That would be incredible. It's an amazing day today, everybody. I'm going to switch over to our YouTube channel and say hello to the chat. But before we get to you guys, I am joined today by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Backlog Blues himself, Grrouchie Serge and Skinny Matt. Hey guys, how are you? Hi, hello.
What's happening?
Yo, we very amazing, young man, very amazing.
Grouchy, thank you for joining us. Matt and I were able to kind of catch up over the last 45 minutes while you eventually made your way over to the show. How's your night going, dude?
You know what? The oldest man is the slowest man, and sometimes you just have to wait for greatness to show up. However, I'm going to introduce whatever you had planned to say, and I'm going to say that I missed the Bobby intros where they had the wrestling promotion stuff going on. Ooh. And so because of that, I prepared my own little intro with some wrestling throwback. Yeah, because this is what I do. I just hijack your crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, is everybody listening? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Nintendo fans of all ages, tonight I bring to you a 3-bit loser, Skinny Matt K, a backlog buster, Grrouchie Serge, two guys that are buying houses, drinking beers, and popping out babies. We were raised with Nintendo, and we are dads. To the next generation of Nintendo fans, we don't discriminate, we just procreate. We are the new Mega Nintendo Dads XL Galaxy Edition. I'm done. Sean Capri looks confused, but Matt had a good time with it.
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what's happening right now. In the middle of all that, I panicked a little bit, and I went into the Discord settings to try and just turn you down a little bit. So I apologize if I broke anybody's eardrums. Let me get us out of here because I'm in control. I don't know what is with this. 2 weeks in a row, people trying to come on this show and just take over. I think this whole thing may be a mistake, but you know who's not a mistake? At least I don't think he is. His parents haven't told me that way. Skinny Matt K.
Actually,
Matt Knight. You were not. Come on, dude. How's it going?
I was a September baby. I know I'm a mistake.
What does that
bad
mean?
New Year's party.
Oh.
Well, New Year's 9 months earlier.
Yeah, that makes sense. But hi, Matt.
What's going on?
I asked you that.
Just trying to move. That's all.
What do you mean? You're moving your family?
New house.
Moving your family? Yeah.
Yes. Moving 15 minutes away, but it's a house that's sat empty and needs a lot of cleaning.
But you've moved on up. You've moved on into the podcast world, and Grouchy, I got a little nervous just with your diatribe there, and I'll get back to you to talk about your show too. But Skinny Matt, tell me about how you ventured on into the world of podcasting. You've slinked on in here.
Yeah, I just kind of crept right in after listening to podcasts.
Hang on, I'm interrupting because this is my show. What happened just now? What happened? You were talking at a normal level before we started recording, and now that you have podcast voice.
What is podcast voice? This is my normal voice.
No, you went into Jesus. There you go. I think what happened, I'm going to call you out on this. Trash Turkey's in the chat. Hi, Trash Turkey. I want to call you out on this. I think you do
podcast voice.
What the hell's a NPR? You do NPR radio voice. I think because we were just chatting. We were just chatting a moment ago.
Nintendo.
There it is.
No, I really don't know. This is my third beer. So
there it is. Okay, tell me about the show. Tell me about 3-bit losers. Grouchy wanted to call you a loser to start off, and I decided not to do that. I thought it sounded mean.
I'm a loser. The hat says so. No. Actually, I've been kind of intrigued in getting to a podcast because everybody else has it. So if everyone else has one, why shouldn't I?
That's right.
And then when Jam's out there put a request that he was looking for people to podcast with, well, I responded.
Yeah, he had fertile ground to grow a podcast. Yeah. With all these guys. So 3-bit losers, how do people find it?
We can be found over on YouTube at James's page, which is JamsEM, so youtube.com/JamsEM.
Nice. And Grouchy, you got a monthly thing going on there. You just it's bang on with your name, Backlog_Blues. Tell me about the Backlog show that you and Trash Turkey started up, man.
So I didn't really want to do a podcast per se. I just kind of like being a guest on them all. But the big thing with me is I just needed more friends. So Trash Turkey, he came to my rescue. He said, "Listen, you've got a buddy over here," and we decided that both of us were cheap. We didn't want to buy anything new. bunch of games that we either started and didn't finish, or we never even started.
Yeah.
So we just came up with this monthly podcast idea, since both of us don't have a whole lot of time to play, and we choose one game a month, we play it, and we talk about it at the end of the month, and that's pretty much it.
Nice, man. It works for the Megadads. They just do the 1 month thing, and they're doing just fine. And anybody watching the video at youtube.com/WeTheNerdy, everybody live in the chat, hi guys, they can see that Grouchy's not lying. He really is cheap. He's not even going to buy light bulbs for his room. And if he has bought light bulbs, he's not going to waste the energy on that. He can't have that light shirt on.
I just had the baby in here, and I didn't want the light. I was introducing her to these 2-bit losers in front of me.
Not even 3 bits.
Well, I would be the 3rd bit, but I'm kind of large, so I'm really 4 through 8.
Oh my gosh, dude! I want to give a quick shout out to our new patron, Joey Splats, Joey Hare, back in the chat, back on the Patreon. So thank you, Joey. And why don't we use that as a nice little segue to start this show like we do each and every week. I think that's what Bobby gave me crap for saying it wrong. Now I'm all above my head. But we're going to do our shout-outs now.
Geek out! Geek
out! Skinny Matt, do you have any shout-outs for us, my friend?
Yes, first I have to go personal and sentimental. I have to say a nice geek out to my parents who drove from Ohio. So my dad helped me take down the swing set, and they helped us clean and move a bunch of crap in the new house. Same with my in-laws who live 20 minutes away. But when in terms of actual stuff that people actually care about, because they don't know my parents or my in-laws, I would have to... actually have to throw a little. Well, Jacob Rush wanted a shout out, but he didn't pay me enough, so he's not getting one. So
I got you, Jacob. I'll give you a shout out. What's up, Jacob? Nintendo Nostalgia. But, hey, man.
No, I do want to give a shout out to the Quest for Pickles. I know it's Quest for Pixels, but after I slipped one time, I'm just going to say it as a joke.
Quest for Pickles.
The Quest for Pickles, for being there and actually supporting us losers, 3-bit losers, by promoting our show and everything. So. Total big shout out to them for that.
Indeed, and because my ego is getting kicked in the nuts here, We the Nerdy would have, but I didn't even know this was a thing that anybody was considering. So that's fine. You go to them. But if you don't like the badge, that's totally cool too. I would have loved to have you guys on We the Nerdy, but it sounds like you've inked a deal here. So I don't know. I can't. My hands are tied.
They offered a deal, but we actually didn't.
We don't require exclusivity though.
We don't have time for that.
There's crossplay that can happen here. We'll get into that in a little bit. Do you have any other shout-outs?
No.
All right. Shout out to Jacob Rush's bench press bar, because things getting some work.
Because it's still straight after all those weights.
It's unbelievable, man. I just do the bar. If I can just lift the bar up, I'm pretty stoked about that. Grrouchie Serge, Mr. Backlog_Blues. Do you have a poem for your shout-outs? Do you have a soliloquy you'd like to ramble on about? I don't know what a soliloquy is. I think that's a thing.
Listen, no, I want to start with family as well. I want to shout out my wife for giving me a beautiful daughter to go along with the 2 sons that I already have, because without them, I would probably be a drunk loser sitting at a poker table right now. So instead, I'm a well-mannered father in process of buying a really expensive house in Vegas as well.
Congratulations, man.
Shout out to them.
Yes, congrats.
And then I really want to shout out to the community in general, especially Trash Turkey for being a part of the podcast and letting me really enjoy gaming for the first time in a long time, and keeping me sane. But the rest of the community, which is pretty amazing, you have the skinny Mac guy here who got an Xbox from the community.
Yes.
You got Lucas from Fluxtapose, who with the help of the community got a Switch. You have Sean sitting right there, who got a whole lot of free diapers. So this community is just really awesome, and that's what's kept me around. That's what's kept me going, and that's why I'm here for the long haul. So y'all rock. Thanks for being a friend.
That was a shout out of all shout.
Wow.
Are you kidding me, man? I got tingles all up in my special places because of that.
Wow, I'm really lame. Thank you.
No, look, I'm not even just slamming
your 3-bit loser.
You're not your shout out. That's and that's the best shout out I think I've ever heard. It makes me say the word shout out, and I can't even handle all of the out sounds. That's incredible, man. When you put it that way, you're absolutely right. There's
guest appearance.
who's this?
Hi.
Who's this? Say hi.
This is Jacob.
Oh, Jacob's here. We were just giving you a shout out.
Jacob Rush is here, everybody. He's a little smaller than anybody noticed. But yeah, the wife is actually with the newborn, so there's nobody here to control the 3-year-old, so he's just going to be in and out and pointing at the screen. Daddy, those your friends? You're talking to your friends?
Those are your drunk friends on the internet.
He doesn't have friends. Don't worry.
He can't hear because I've got the earphones on.
I know. That's why I said it.
Guys, why don't we move on into the chat? Let's give some shout-outs to Joey Splats. He was here first, and I don't think that anybody... I don't know how you feel about that episode 100 little teaser. Bobby went on for a little while, and for those who missed it, even though it was at the beginning of this episode, episode 100 next week, April 29th, live right here at youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. The Guru returns. He is going to rise up out of his podcast grave and stumble on over here. I can't wait. He's already sent me his topics, and I have a little surprise for him in response to those topics that I can't wait to share with you guys. Johnny Casino's in the chat. Tony Baker. Shout out to Edmonton. High five, YEG. David Ray's in the chat. Trash Turkey. The Paddy Wagon is here. And Skinny Matt. Unbelievable. I can't believe Skinny Matt's here.
2 places at once.
Also, shout out to my boy, Jesse Sackin. He started up his YouTube channel, Turbo GFX Jesse. Head on over there and give the guy a sub. Let's get him up to 100 subs as soon as possible so you can get that custom URL. Josh Stapleton's in the chat. I have yet to look at your video. I am so sorry, man. I haven't had a moment to breathe. Andrew Semicek's in the chat. I hope your son is okay. Goodness gracious, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Apparently, Todd Oxtra had a birthday. That was one of my shout-outs, so happy birthday, Todd. And also, Gary Gray. I can't remember if I said these things last week. Is this a recent thing? I don't remember, but if I did say this last week, you guys get 2 shout-outs in a row. You know who else gets another shout-out? Jacob Rush. Because he's nostalgic, and I love that guy. Guys, I think if that's it for shout-outs, it's time for one of my favorite topics of the entire show, the What You Playing, presented by Flexopposed. Speaking of Lucas Rose.
What you drinking?
What you drinking? Let's actually, speaking of Flexopposed, why don't we start with that? Skinny Matt, what you drinking, my friend?
I am drinking a Free Cafe Imperial Coffee Oatmeal Stout.
Freak out!
Sorry, Oatmeal Brown Ale. I misspoke. I'm sorry. It is from Three Heads Brewing, which is in town here in Rochester, and it is phenomenal. I'm going to say it to keep it PG rated.
I actually don't really understand some of the words that you just said. Like, that was just a bunch of words slammed together to describe a beer. I don't know what that means. So it's coffee, but oatmeal brown ale? What's the... why you have oatmeal in your beer?
It's brewed with oatmeal. They brew oatmeal. Like, usually it's typical.
That sounds like a breakfast beer if I ever heard of one.
Yeah. Well,
coffee and oatmeal?
My favorite.
It's a breakfast of champions right there.
There are coffee stouts that are out there. And Founders has one called the Breakfast Stout. So, yeah.
Nice, man. On the video, people can see that we're also playing GoldenEye. It's just below me. I think you just said that he's got balls, but I'm not sure. Matt, are you playing any games, dude?
Sadly, I am not. I've been too busy trying to move, and one of those things I do about 12 or 13 hours of cleaning, packing stuff up, and repairs on the new place. I did try to, did at least the other night, get a couple rounds of Fortnite of the 50v50. I got about 3 rounds in before I was ready for bed, and it was only 10:30 at night, so that's how it's been going for me.
I'm going to give Grouch a couple minutes here, because I've muted him. In case you didn't know, Grouch, I got you on mute, so I can't hear it. Even if you try and jump in, I'm really sorry, dude. I know he's giving me faces. I want to give this is also a What You Playing and a shout out. I want to give a shout out and a What You Playing to Josh Stapleton and Donnie from PSVG, Donnie Reese, everybody else who has joined the Mario Golf on 3DS, the lunch crew or lunchtime tour. It is a freaking blast, guys. It is so much fun. I haven't actually played like the multiplayer aspect of Mario Golf on 3DS, and it has like completely changed my opinion of the game. I thought like I had seen it all. I thought I didn't really need to do really anything more with it, and now I can't stop. I want to play that game all the time. It actually has revived my love for the 3DS. So thank you to Donnie and to Josh for bringing this thing back. I wish I had it on me, actually. I want to bring it. Next month, by the way, speaking of What You Playing, I will be buying, starting in May, I will be buying a game live on at least one show per month. I'll just be like, and it'll be at the will of the chat. You guys, we can look through the what's on sale because, like Grouchie, I'm not buying anything full price. Are you kidding me, man? Too many games to play. Dave calls me out. He says, Sean was just in the 3DS like 2 weeks ago. Look at him now.
Speaking of games on sale, I did just pick up Elder Scrolls Online for the Xbox for $12 at Walmart.
Oh snap! That's an Xbox comment. Maybe one day we'll expand this out to if we ran Xbox, and if we ran, I think if we ran PlayStation, we would just shut it down because just like why bother? Grouchy Serge, you're back, man. What you playing? Presented by Flexipose.
Well, first thing I'm drinking, since we're by Flexipose.
I forgot.
Left Coast Brewing Company, Voodoo American Stout. I'm not a beer nerd. All I know is I like to drink, so I picked that up. It's a World Beer Cup Bronze Award 2012 for foreign style stout. So whatever that means, it's delicious. And thanks for making
drinking Bud Light. So
what in the world happened to beers? There's too many words.
They got delicious. Yes,
sir. They're not Bud Light.
As for what I'm playing, this month I finished Oxen Blues. I finished Danganronpa. And
can you say that last one again?
Danganronpa.
Okay, that's probably close. Yep, that's probably close.
And then I finished something else random. I finished the new Super Mario Bros. 2 on a 3DS.
Congratulations!
In like 4 hours. Thanks. It was a lot of fun. I collected a lot of coins. I didn't realize how easy that they started making these 2D side-scrolling Marios anymore. They now have they had a power-up that if you died too much, and I'm ashamed to say that I died a ton, that it just turned you invincible for the rest of the level.
Yeah, you're like, thank you.
I didn't realize that. Until I was fighting Bowser. I'm like, oh, why did he die when I touched him? Son of a gun.
That's all there just to stroke your ego, man. It's been made easier, so you're like, I ain't got time to die.
I know, that's Dave mode right there.
That's Davey mode.
That's right.
Indeed. Last chance before we get into topics for Mr. Todd Oxford. Anything else you guys playing? Any final words before we jump into running Nintendo?
If anyone saw, at least before the move started last week, I did finally finish Night in the Woods.
Ooh.
Meh.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Adam Leonard is not going to be happy with that.
Yeah, Adam already tore me a new one, but his taste of games obviously suck. So
he direct messaged me and called me a loser.
It's a good opportunity to give a shout out to the Megadad's Top 50 over at megadadsblog.org. Of course, the top 50. So go on over there and tell them how much you disagree with all the choices. Particularly, I'm pretty sure Firewatch made the list at this point, and this is like they're into 20 to 30 or something like that. Obviously, the fact that it's on a top 50 list of all time, maybe don't check it out, but maybe do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but it's only the top 50 games that they've played. So they've obviously missed out on a lot of games.
Yeah, they probably only play 50 games. You're right. In total. I mean, they do a podcast once a month. They're hitting.
Just come in the Switch.
Yeah. Also, big news for Campo Santo being bought by Valve. Yeah. So Half-Life 3 confirmed. Most of the people listening to this show don't know what Half-Life is because it's a Nintendo show. So why don't we go ahead and take this moment to give our good friend Todd Oxford a high five, because it's time for the Todd Oxford timeout for topics. Why don't we go ahead and start with one of these topics? Mr. Grrouchie Serge, I want to start with yours, and take us away, man. What's your topic?
Alrighty, so not to steal thunder from last week's show, but I believe that especially with today's modern age and everybody being friendly and at least on Twitter, I think also with Phil Spencer being open, saying that he's open to putting like Banjo and Smash, I think it's time for, a little bit more crossovers in our consoles, in our generation. Just something like a friendly little like, hey, good job. Let's generate interest for each other, since the only way we're all going to succeed is if we all succeed.
That's so nice.
And that's the truth of it, because once you start running out of options and you're only down to one, you've got a whole lot of failures there, and then it's going to be like the WWE. It's just going to kind of suck because there's no competition. So I was thinking of like different crossovers like that could happen, and like my main thinking is from the Xbox, which I don't even play or even own at this point, because Phil Spencer's out there and he's such a great guy and he's open to helping. He's let Minecraft stay out there. He's put like the different skins on different consoles, stuff like that. So I was thinking, crossover, like the biggest one to me, a crossover that makes sense is like a Halo cross Metroid.
Oh, you're talking okay, so I'm glad that you gave me an example.
Wait.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I'm not talking like, generate like a full, like, hey, let's get together and make like a complete game together. If they wanted to, they could do something retro style. Like they could easily generate like a retro style Contra game to generate interest with, like, instead of having, like, you know, the little two Billy bad guys or whatever they were fighting, you could have Samus and Master Chief. You know, yeah, you could have Samus and Master Chief running the levels, going against like the Flood, going against other Metroid characters, stuff like that. But I'm thinking just like little nudges to be like, hey, by the way, you know, the Switch is kind of cool, or hey, you know what, the Xbox is cool. So what I was thinking is you've got like Halo 6 coming out, and you've got Metroid Prime 4 coming out. So if you go through, like, for instance, Halo 6 and beat the game, you know, maybe you get like 2 half codes. And if you go through Metroid 4, you get the other half of those 2 codes. So if you get like
you are bonkers, code, man.
I know, I love this. Wait, so if you enter the Xbox code into the Xbox, now you have Samus being able to run through the single player campaign of Halo 6. And if you go the opposite direction, you can unlock Master Chief running through Metroid. So you get a couple of their weapons, you get some of their power-ups, just something in there for a nod to the fans. Like, hey, you've already beat the game. Now let's make it interesting.
What have you done? I just want to, can I just take a pause here? Because I wasn't sure exactly what the crossover thing meant. Okay, and so I want to kind of like put a little box around this, and maybe we'll think outside the box. Maybe we'll crush this box.
I thought that was outside the box.
This is outside the box.
Way outside the box.
But we're gonna make this the outside box. We're gonna make anyway. So basically, what this topic is a list of games that basically fall under the category of Flintstones meets the Jetsons. So like we're literally having like 2 franchises from opposing universes collide. So okay, I just wanted to put a little like I just wanted to define that a little bit because Flintstones, like it's like Simpsons meets the Critic kind of thing.
Yeah, just to help promote each other. Because I mean, obviously Halo's gonna sell well and Metroid's gonna. But you know, if you've got that little bit. Well, it does, and you've got Master Chief helping right here. But I mean, Metroid's gonna sell well enough. You know, it's not big in Japan, but Americans will buy enough of it.
I'm digging this. So we're saying like, well, let's look at maybe even some of the franchises in the Nintendo ecosystem that maybe need a little boost from maybe something that's the hotness right now,
or the other way around. Like another thing I thought would be cool is bring back Project Gotham Racing and have a couple of Mario Karts in there as unlockables for a spoof, or you know, put a real car in Mario Kart just for a goof. And I also really like the idea of having a Wii Fit 2 and bringing in Marcus Phoenix as the trainer.
Also, if anybody's watching the video, this is giving me flashbacks to that CNN video where the dude's trying to have like a serious Skype call about like world economies and stuff, and then the baby crawls in, and then the wife runs in trying to chase after everything. That's exactly what's happening right now. So this is amazing.
So, yeah, for the next couple years of podcasting, I'm going to have little annoying run-ins, but they're my family and I love them, and y'all just have to deal with it.
Well, I just wanted to call it out. Tony Baker in the chat says Donkey Kong Island in Sea of Thieves, the Sea of Kongs. I think that is what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, see? And that's the creativity that we need to bring into, you know, once we can get Conquer and Smash, we're all good to go.
Ooh, what about crossover in and of itself? Like, what about like Conquer in? No, wait, none of this is Nintendo anymore. A Conquer in Banjo is kind of what I was thinking.
Well, I'm still all about Pirate Mario and Sea of Thieves.
I want like a Smash Brothers version of Mario 64, where you just have like all the 3D mascots just like around, and you can just kind of like basically, okay, it's Grand Theft Auto 5 style where you can switch between the characters, and like maybe you're playing as Mario for a little bit, and then you go off and see what crazy Spyro's up to, and he's like murdering homeless people and setting them on fire. Then you flip over to Ratchet and Clank, and they're fixing things and doing
Spyro right now, going through, catching people on fire, killing them.
I find it amusing the first time we bring up anything Sony.
I'm sorry, you cut out there. I don't know if Matt, did you hear any of that?
No, they cut out.
What I said was I find it amusing that as soon as somebody brings up Sony, like one of their mascots murdering homeless people.
I mean, they're the mature brand, right?
Well, yeah, they're on top of the food chain. They can do whatever they want, right?
You flip over to Crash Bandicoot, and of course, he's screaming at Nintendo's head office. He's still there, like 30 years later. Matt, what are your thoughts on any of this, man? This is the weirdest topic I think we've ever had.
I'm still trying to figure the throw-in house somehow. As you're going through a Breath of the Wild or something, or the next Zelda game, and all of a sudden, I don't know, you get I'm just trying to get that nice person.
David Ray in the chat says, "How about
you threw me a curveball? This wasn't going where I thought it was going."
Me neither, man. Not even. I mean, this is Serge. David Ray says, "How about arms cross Tekken?" That is a really good idea. So, like, taking the fighting genre, arms and Tekken team is crazy enough to pull something like that off. I don't disagree, dude. And fighting genres have had that crossover where it actually seems to work. That seems like a natural fit.
And one that I think would work really well is arms cross face breakers. Bring back face breakers. That was real cartoony.
Oh my gosh.
That's a blast from the past.
But Matt was thinking about, some sort of Zelda. You could have Zelda is like kind of like Nintendo's version of like Microsoft's Fable.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I couldn't.
If only the hero of Fable didn't suck and wasn't nameless and boring.
Anything else? Any other problems you have with Fable? You want to get off your chest?
Well, the ending of Fable 2 really drove me to drink. It was awful.
It was Fable's fault.
It was press X to win the game. I mean, right there, that was just like, really? I have to press X and I win?
Have you not fought Ganon at the end of Breath of the Wild?
Unfortunately, I did. I should have ended sooner, but whatever.
Tony Baker in the chat says Twisted Metal cross with Mario Kart, which I think is awesome. Also, whenever I see Tony Baker show up in the chat, there's too many letters that are similar to Troy Baker. I think Troy Baker is with us, and that would be incredible. But almost as handsome, maybe even as handsome. Tony Baker's in the chat. Hey, Tony. Guys, this is the weirdest topic ever.
I'm still trying to think, since Microsoft has a picture like a new Perfect Dark with like Mario and Luigi and maybe even the rabbits, like the whole Mario rabbits, but they're actually running around shooting each other.
Okay, now we're actually talking about stuff that's actually happened. Like, what, maybe is there something else that the rabbits could, maybe the rabbits are just like in the Switch era, and it'd be great for it just to happen for this era, and that's it. The rabbits go away from Nintendo forever. But like every year, it's like Mario versus rabbits, Splatoon versus rabbits, Metroid versus rabbits. Like some of those actually make a little more sense than the others. Babbit's in the house. Hi, Babbit. Babbit, we're talking about games that we want crossing over. So
if rabbits are crossing over with everything, isn't that Ubisoft point?
Yeah, but it's going to be the whole Mario, like Rabid, not just Rabbids. It'll be like Rabid Peach. And because, I mean, come on, you get Sniper. I'm just picturing Sniper Luigi out there,
you know what I'm really picturing at this point, since we've gone slightly off the rails? I'm actually picturing a Mario vs. Rabbids crossover with like South Park. Or maybe a Paper Mario crossover with South Park.
Oh, Paper Mario. Paper Mario with Paper Mario and South Park is the winner. That's the answer. All of this rambling is like none of this really makes sense. That's really good, dude. Oh, there's lots of baby trouble. So we'll head on over to the chat to save the topic. Trash Turkey says Gears of War.
It's time for Matt's topic. Let him talk.
I'm like, why does everybody come on the show trying to change the topic? I need a permanent co-host. I think the guest thing is going to be done here. Tony Baker says Luigi's Crackdown Mansion. That's awesome. Oh, I like having the name like in the middle of it. I see what you did there. Mr. Badbit, Mario Combat Evolved. I love the Halo love that's happening here. TurboGrafx Jesse says Gears cross with Chibi Robo cross with Tetris. Hang on. I'm gonna mute you, Serge, for a second here, and I'm gonna dive into this just for a second. I'm sorry, so sorry to have to do this. We got babies everywhere. If only I had some practice talking by myself. If only, like, I'm just so nervous that like everybody has left me right now. I don't know how to fill empty space all by myself. The chat is saying TurboGrafx Gears with Chibi Robo and Tetris, and then he says Astro Trip, of course.
Sorry, in typical fashion, I had to leave situations though, like the 3-Bit Lizards episodes.
Is that what's happening? Is that what we can expect to?
3-year-old was crying because she wanted one.
Okay, guys, I'm tapped. I think that was hilarious, and you're back. You are not a mute.
Oh, I'm not a mute.
You are back, my friend. I should have like a sign and lights that tell you guys whether or not you're back. Next time, honestly, I'm just saying. No babies would be great too. Mr. Skinny Matt.
I apologize.
You don't have to apologize for having babies. But, somewhere else. Skinny Matt, what's your topic, man?
Oh, well, considering the fact that this whole idea came out from trying to get through Mario Odyssey, like, since it was so bad to begin with, they need to totally bring back the Power Glove.
Yeah, man. Now we're talking.
Or even better, now, everyone remembers how terrible the Power Glove really was. Despite what you would think from watching The Wizard, I mean, you had, what, Bad Street Brawl, and, what was the other one? Well, and Super Glove Ball 4. I mean, you tried to do Punch-Out, but it didn't work. I didn't have one. My buddy had one.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to put in
Nobody actually had one. It was always somebody's buddy.
Those things were like $75 back in like 1990.
They were so futuristic, man. I once went to a friend's concert. All my friends seemed to play music, and my one friend played half of his concert playing guitar with a Power Glove on. Like, he like snipped the cord and everything, and like he played like shit. Like, he sounded terrible because that thing is.
So he sounded the way the Power Glove actually worked. Terrible.
Pretty. I guess you could say it was working exactly as designed.
But now, instead of having Mattel do it, picture this, playing Mario Odyssey. Now, the catch is, it may be a pair of Power Gloves, but you could sit there, if you think of how VR works and everything, you could go and you could, so somehow you're just going where you, when you go to throw the hat, you just make your motion. Not like this, but like you actually throw it. Maybe there's feedback in it where it vibrates a little. Like maybe it's integrated where the Joy-Cons are, like it's gloves or the Joy-Cons are built in. Because I did not understand how great HD Rumble really was until I started playing that at Xbox. The HD Rumble is fantastic. They can put that input in. Then now you think about start going Mario Kart. You know, you have one hand. You know, maybe you squeeze your thumb or something, and you're accelerating so you can, you know, motion control steering, as you can see anyone who's, but just to throw something behind you to take your item, you just whip your other hand back behind the toss it behind you, where you go up front. I mean,
I love these ideas and I love this topic because I think the Power Glove is something that we've all completely written off. Like, it's a joke at this point. It's dumb. It didn't work. It was clunky. It was expensive. It was all these things. But like, you're right, man. I love your spin on it because it's like, how would it work with like current technology? That like stuff has come a long way. That thing was ahead of its time. But sometimes usually when we say something is ahead of its time, it's because something went wrong. Like, if it was like a perfect, like for its time, it would have just like been the iPhone. But if it was ahead of its time, it would have been like the Palm Pilot. So really, that's kind of like the differentiating factor. So with current technology, I wonder if like it would be possible, and I'm doing like the hand motions as if like the Wii remote transformed how we interact with video games with the Wii. And like for me, my personal like wow moment was even just how smooth it was moving around. Like, it was accurate and everything like that. We all want the Minority Report experience. We all want to have like all these different panels, and this is where I think the two come in. You could like, with your certain motions, you can have something like a window in front of you, and then like you slide that one away and bring up something else. And I think that would be really cool for like strategy games specifically. Like, you could actually have a brand new way of interacting with strategy games that Nintendo would nail. And all of a sudden you'd have to move away from a PC, which, let's face it, all of us absolutely want to do. I'm gonna bring Grrouchie back here, man. What do you think? And I've got your volume up here, so please.
Okay. So the first thing I thought was the Wii obviously needed two power chans, you know, because they had 17,000 other different, attachments. But when Matt proposed this, the first thing I thought of, the easy one, go into your fighting games. So somehow you find a way to stick your Joy-Cons in there, and you can fight, and different flicks of your fingers are going to hit different buttons, the A button, the B button somehow. So on your fighting games like ARMS, playing this, or like Smash Brothers. Personally, the most satisfying thing in the world would be me wearing two $75 Power Gloves, because they have to do a left and a right to fit my thumbs in there, and beating Jason Lacey in a game of Smash because I accidentally flicked the wrong finger and didn't know what I was doing. Like,
you'd be playing Brawl Out.
Fair. Or Awesome Knots. This touches on what Tony Baker says. He says Power Glove Punch Out. I mean, that's a no-brainer, man. Like, I mean, is that
what on the Wii was? It didn't feel right
because you were holding something rather than like you're still clenching. It's still similar.
But think about this. What they're doing with the Labo, whether they have some kind of different colors and tape inside the glove for your, like maybe it's right here, and the sensor reads, and you put the different color tape or whatever for the IR sensor. Oh man, they could just it starts to get limitless. I mean, I don't like motion fists and waggle. Like Skyward Sword, waggle made it terrible.
Thank you.
Outside of the hand holding.
Thank you.
it was a decent game. I mean, still an average Zelda, decent Zelda games are better than other games out there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, but like, there's so much they could do. And like
Well,
I said,
yeah.
I was just, it becomes limitless.
So what you do is Disney then creates a game where you are Thanos wearing the glove, and you're just going through and destroying Avengers. You're like, oh, Captain America is dead. All with like finger motions and swipes of your Thanos. That's the ultimate Power Glove win.
That's so funny. Dave
just
Moore in the
picturing-
chat, he says that this is what Labo is for. I think that's an interesting sort of dichotomy of we're thinking super high-tech futuristic, and Nintendo actually is all about cardboard. Like I actually
it's going to be a cardboard glove.
I was recycling a whole bunch of stuff.
Build your own Power Glove from Labo. I would buy that.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But I mean,
Dave in the chat, Dave Gray says, talk to Microsoft about HoloLens, maybe. And I think that I want to jump on that one because I think this would be a key point on how Minecraft would actually work. On like, imagine having the Power Glove interactivity with Minecraft and like building things in three-dimensional space. Like it's that type of like reach out and grab it type of experience that I would want that maybe VR is trying to get to.
I was going to say, are we going to Nintendo VR with Power Glove and whatever they can accomplish with that?
I don't like the VR. I don't want to wear goggles where only I can see because Nintendo's all about the couch co-op. You put the VR goggles on, that goes out the window.
It'd be interesting to see if like the VR does tend to go the way that 3D went, where it really was. We thought for sure this was going to be everywhere. 3D was the next thing. Everybody's saying VR is the next thing. Like, what if we just sort of like resisted a little while longer?
I don't mean to cut you off, but they've been saying VR. Did you ever see the movie The Lawnmower Man? That's from like 1991. They've been talking about VR. Like, it's good. It's the next big thing. Come on.
Okay, so instead of VR, what about AR? Because Nintendo has dabbled in augmented reality a decent amount. Well, on the 3DS at least.
To me, this idea of the Power Glove is actually more appealing, to be honest with you. Like, I want to be able to, like, at least sit back in my couch and be a safe distance away from my display. But still, I am intrigued by the notion of interacting with the virtual world.
Think of Fire Emblem on the Switch, on your big TV.
Yeah,
and
man.
You want to manage your group. You just grab, throw them over here.
Yeah. I'm even thinking of, like, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Pikmin.
Or pick... Oh, yes.
Oh my God, Pikmin!
Game over.
And you're grabbing your Pikmin. You're going to move your red over here, and when you go to attack, you actually, and you're actually like pick up and throwing them. Maybe you can somehow determine how many you're throwing. You just throw like 20 at once.
And you could even like motion towards your mouth, and it would blow the whistle to bring them all back.
But yeah, just like that and blow the whistle.
Oh, that would be great. Because the thing is, like, Pikmin almost seemed to like find new life with on the Wii U. Everybody really liked to hate on the Wii U, but having that tactile touch with the touchpad and everything, really, I mean, was kind of nice. I kind of hope Nintendo actually kind of.
I got to use the circle, the Wiimote when I play. I still play that against my kid. He wants to use the gamepad, and let me go ahead because I can just grab the Wiimote, circle my group, and let them run where I want to send them. So.
Anybody else in the chat? Sorry, go ahead, Grouch.
I was going to say to wrap this up because I'm not looking at the chat, but they might have some good ideas. Like the most obvious solution.
You don't get to wrap things up, by the way. I wrap things up. What is it? Everybody's in that square. Last week it was Chris White. Now Serge trying to run the show here.
I don't mean wrap it up, but I mean like in like 10 to 15 years, it's going to be funny because like we all thought the Power Glove was really cool when it came out, even though I turned it sideways and played a game on the D-pad and the buttons. So no matter what, I justified that purchase by beating Mario with it. So now we'd be raising up.
You didn't reprogram it to have the control.
I was too stupid. I'm sorry. But the cool thing to me would be now we would have a second generation. Yeah, the Power Pad or the Power Glove was awful. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
That's why they got to bring it back. That's why.
That's right.
That's why we want it made better, more
see
powerful.
David here saying it won't work because of Kinect, but I don't know. Kinect was still at a distance. This is where the technology is built into the hands. The Kinect was still motion detection. I mean, it's...
Speaking of things that were ahead of their time, Kinect was definitely ahead of its time. They often talked about how the technology that they had in like early prototypes and things as they were testing, like, how are they actually going to build this? It was capable of amazing things. And then they're like, hang on, we got to charge customers money for this. How much does that cost? Holy crap. All the gears and stuff that we got in there is going to be like $6,000. So we got to scale everything down. So I think that is actually like a pretty literal sense of like being ahead of its time, where like the tech would actually cost too much. Maybe we're just reaching out just a little too far ahead with the Power Glove. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Think about this. What kind of started getting me thinking about this, honestly, it's the stuff with the Labo. And once it came out, nobody knew there was a camera. Nobody knew that.
I think you cut out, man. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
No, and what was it? The right or the left Joy-Con? Nobody knew there was a.
It knew that there was a camera in there, like
there's
an
a camera
infrared.
on the Joy-Con.
Well, it's an infrared sensor, right?
No, there's an actual camera, because if you do the bug, there's a camera so you can see where it's going.
I didn't even know that. Even now.
Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, someone please say it in chat. Grill me. Fine.
I remember they were bringing it up that there is a camera in that infrared sensor. They can do so much in there, and I remember them bringing up the fact that there is a camera, and everybody was kind of like, "There's a what?"
Okay, everybody in the chat's backing me up. It's IR sensor. So. Thank you guys. I appreciate that, Dave and Tony. And Lens is here. Hey, Lens, we're just about to wrap things up, guys. Goodness gracious, what a! I didn't expect anything less from you guys. Just totally like wacky, crazy ideas and topics. Thank you guys so much for taking some time tonight to chat about the weird Nintendo. We're getting back to weird Nintendo tonight. Before we go though, Grrouchie Serge, please tell everybody where they can find you on the internet and your podcast and anything else you'd like people to know about, all that stuff.
Right now the only thing I care about, just go to backlog, either _busters or backlog busters. Follow the podcast, listen to it. Trash Turkey and I are having a great time just playing old games and talking about them and communicating, whether anybody listens or not. I'm so happy that we hooked up on this because, it's just really cool to have a constant person to talk about, whether it's once a month, once a week, whatever it is. It's just like, hey, this is our time. We're going to chat. And like every single time we have a conversation and podcast after it's over, I'm just like, that was amazing. I don't know what we talked about, and it was mostly babble, but my God, it brings me back to the way like grade school and high school was. That's what the podcasting thing, like, to me feels like. I'd go to my buddy's house, and we would just play Tecmo Super Bowl all night long, recording our stats and whatnot, and like that's what podcasting reminds me of, since everyone's so far away. You have this friend, you get to meet up with them a couple times a month or whatever it is, and you just chat. And when you're done, you're like, that was awesome. Let's do it again.
I think it's incredible, man. And it's like this like automatic safe space where like, okay, we all know why we're here. So, I mean, unless you talk about PC gaming, you're pretty much safe to say whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding, guys. I've been having my PC troubles, so I'm knocking the PC a little bit. Grouch, thanks for that, man. And thank you for your count shout out at the start. Skinny Matt, where can people find you on the internet in case they absolutely loved your insane topic today and say hello to you and your podcast, dude?
So if you want to find me on the interweb, two places to find me are at SkinnyMattK on Twitter. You can also find me on Twitch. I was moving my vlog over there, but it's on hiatus temporarily. On Twitch at Skinny_Matt. And then the podcast, The 3-Bit Losers, if you want to watch that, which we just recorded tonight, so it should drop soon, can be found over at Jam's channel over at youtube.com/JamsGams. Obviously, that's James Games minus the E.
I love that. Good one.
And if I'm like Aaron, you might find me under your tonight.
Oh, snap. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, thank you, everybody, for showing up in the chat tonight. Lenses, it was great to see you. Dude427, I'm sorry, we're just wrapping here, guys. But the show's going to stay up on YouTube. It goes up on iTunes and Google Play, of course, every single Wednesday. Thank you to all of our patrons at patreon.com/makeusbetter. If you guys haven't already, please consider contributing there. Follow the Twitter at If We Ran Nintendo. Follow me at Sean Capri. Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. And in case you didn't know, everybody who's at $3 and above shows up in the show notes, and $10 above gets a shout out at the start of the show. So there. Next time we go live, I'm going live with the Guru. He's gonna rise from his ashes, and he's probably just gonna shit on me for a good hour. So you guys should probably tune in for that. That'll be a good time. Our credits today, of course, brought to us by GFX Jesse, Mr. Jesse Sackin, a proud supporter of Make Us Better, and I'm proud to support him. If you guys haven't by this time, still go over to YouTube, search GFX Jesse, Turbo GFX Jesse, my apologies, and go give him a sub, please, guys. There's 12 of us here. We should be able to get him another 12 subs tonight. Otherwise, this is episode 99, the Wayne Gretzky of podcast. I think this is 99. I'm pretty sure, because next is Bobby's 100. Bye, Bobby. I'll see you next week, buddy. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Turbo GFX Jesse, where we talk about everything gaming. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite games of 2017. It might be one of my favorite games of all time. Definitely a top 3 or top 2 game on the Switch. But what game could I be thinking about and talking about? If the eyes didn't give it away, I'm talking about Super Mario Odyssey. I want to tell you about the 5 DLC levels that I can see coming. Here we go! Woo! Super Mario Odyssey is a once-in-a-generation type game, a masterpiece. Its only flaw? It left all its users wanting more. Super Mario Odyssey had 16 kingdoms, 11 of them being true explorable kingdoms, and 4 of them being either boss battle or post-game content. I don't believe there will be a sequel for Super Mario Odyssey anytime soon, but I do believe at this year's E3 there will be DLC announced with more kingdoms. Here is a prediction of 5 kingdoms that I predict or envision or hope that they will announce at this year's E3 for DLC for Super Mario Odyssey. One of my favorite parts of Super Mario Odyssey is the verticality of some of its levels. Just like the Wooded Kingdom and Metro Kingdom, verticality means a lot. That's why I think a Mountain Kingdom would be great in Super Mario Odyssey DLC. Imagine scaling a huge mountain like Mount Everest. You would be climbing up and using tons and tons of pipes to get you from point A to point B. But it would almost make it a labyrinth. So if you went to the wrong pipe, you might get sent back down. But if you go to the right pipe, you might get all the way to the top. I'd also have a little bit of inside the mountain in this kingdom as well. Mario could fall down a crevasse and end up right in a cave. Then have to use a pipe and might bring him down back to the bottom or bring him back to the top. I would really make this kingdom a labyrinth of sorts. It would be really fun to get to the top and look down and see all the different places that you went to on your adventure to get to the top. And at the top, there would have to be a great boss battle. Who do you guys think would be a great boss battle for this mountain kingdom?